IamTeeski. What's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy T, and today I got another episode off that little, y'all know that little Larry Bird joint I posted yesterday. If you know, you know. You feel me? If you don't know, go watch that video. It's from like 2 days ago. This is Russell's statistical case over Wilt. Greatest Peaks episode 1. Now we gonna make this a little series. I'm gonna go through all the episodes, but I ain't gonna lie. I need like 50 likes, like 50 likes for the next episode. You feel me? Cause y'all ask for them, but you can't just be getting what you ask for all the time. You feel me? Like how y'all just gonna how you just gonna ask me to do it and I'ma just do it and you don't even like the video? What kind of fucked up shit is that? You feel me? Like that's, you know what I mean? We need some we need a deal around here. You feel me? We need a deal, cause we watch something else, but we can get into this. I don't know what this about. I don't know what they gonna say. I really don't know too much about Bill Russell, if we being honest. Let's get into it. Road to 20K. Don't forget to like and subscribe. What?
The greatest of all time.
I'm trying to get the volume right.
It dominates the conversation today, but the original GOAT debate captivated basketball back in the 1960s. Back then, the hoops world was divided into two camps. One side argued for Wilt Chamberlain, based on his outlying statistical achievements, and the other for Bill Russell, who collected an astounding 11 championship rings. But what if that whole paradigm is backwards? What if we threw Russell's rings out the window, used Wilt's stats against him, and made the statistical case for Russell over Chamberlain?
Okay, I don't know how he gonna do this, but it's gonna be hey, this is my question to y'all. When y'all talking GOAT debate, what do you base it off of? Man, let me know in the comments. What are you basing your GOAT debate off? It's like, is it heavily rings? Is it heavily MVPs? Is it heavily scoring? You know what I mean? What are we basing it off? Team success? What are we going off? Because a lot of guys got GOAT debates, and it's because they you know what I mean, they was good in a different area than the other person. You feel me? Like if you go Brian, MJ, they just go, oh, 6-0. You know, that's the easy, quick, easy argument. Oh my goodness, give me that shit. Right? And I ain't gonna pause like that. Too damn hot outside to be pausing videos and shit. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm in the house. I'm still hot.
Before we dive into specific tiers and criteria,
you need no kids playing outside. It's so hot.
Wilt and Russell illustrate something at the heart of this series and basketball itself.
Right.
In 1962, Chamberlain famously averaged 50 points and 25 rebounds per game while playing every of every
Is that Bill Russell he dunking on?
Many consider it to be the most dominant season in NBA history. I don't think
my goodness.
100 best seasons. That may sound crazy, but those 50 points came with a lot of caveats. For one, there were way more scoring chances back in 1962. Teams ran up and down to the tune of about 130 possessions per game. That's about 30 more chances to rack up stats than in a typical game today. More shots, more free throws, rebounds, and so on.
They played faster in the 60s?
Year, but the takeaway here is that 50 points per game then isn't what we think of as 50 points per game in the three-point era. Maybe
so how much is that?
The easiest way to see this is to note that Wilt scored about 40% of his team's points that season while he was on the court, whereas Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant scored about 43% of their team's points when on the court during their mega-scoring seasons. Wilt also played the entire game, which gave him a few extra minutes of impact, but also made his rate of scoring less impressive. The Dipper scored about 29 points every 75 possessions he played that year, which would rank 7th this season, so a huge number, but not a historical outlier. Okay, but so what, you might say, even with stat inflation,
so he was stat pad.
Crushed Russell as a scorer, right? And he did. Russell's scoring rate was actually below league average for most of his career. But the question here isn't who scored more points per game. It's how much did these players help their teams score more efficiently. Playmaking is the other enormous offensive impact, making life easier for all four of your teammates, not just yourself. And Wilt Chamberlain was the original black hole. It wasn't that he couldn't pass or that he never set up his running mates, it's that he very rarely set them up relative to how much he shot.
Right.
If we look at true shot...
Hey, where they getting this film from? I never seen this film. But, so he's saying basically, Wilt is he was stat padding. Oh. That's what he said, bro. I know Bill Russell don't get no buckets, though. I never seen him on no type of scoring list. You feel me? Bill Russell don't get no buckets. He just strictly out there defense.
That is, when a player took a field goal or attempted 2 free throws. And compare those scoring attempts to assists, we can see just how little Wilt was playmaking. Here are all the non-Chamberlain seasons since the shot clock, with at least 20 true shot attempts per 75 possessions.
Right.
Now here's Wilt in the first half of his career. He scored more while passing less than just about anyone ever. And that was a criticism of him at the time. It was common to hear refrains like this from Sports Illustrated in 1966. But the tactical demands of using Wilt to his best advantage, that's scoring by the way, severely diminish his team's own versatility and generally create morale problems among those who want the ball as much as he does. Now let's go back to that graph and add his 50-point season.
See, ooh.
It is an outlier among outliers. This has been hiding in plain sight for 60 years. And the names of those who have even gone over 15 to 1 should drive home just how one-dimensional his offense was. The only players to cross that threshold in the last decade were Brook Lopez in Brooklyn and Kristaps Porzingis in 2018.
So they saying, I'm not, he get 19, he had scored 19, he had shoot 19 times before he got one, go back. Yeah, 19 shots before he get an assist. Oh my God. No, that's crazy. Wait, like, this is a different type of ball hog, though. But at the same time, he a big man, though, like, and he the best player on the team, so the coach probably like, nigga, don't pass it ever. Like, he probably took that literal, like, don't pass it ever. Like, I'm never passing it. I don't care. I'm shooting it. What the fuck?
With Brook Lopez in Brooklyn and Kristaps Porzingis in 2018. The takeaway here is that Wilt's sexy scoring numbers were mostly one-dimensional.
Sexy is crazy.
So much you can help your team without making life easier for teammates. Because of that NBA axiom, Chamberlain's team's offenses weren't very good during those volume scoring seasons. They were most efficient in 1962, scoring about 2 points more per 100 than league average, but every other season they were around average, with Chamberlain registering huge numbers. In 1965, his team had the worst offense in the league by a mile before he was traded, and Wilt averaged 39 points per game on solid efficiency that year. This pattern has actually held throughout NBA history. Huge volume scoring doesn't guarantee a good offense. It can help lift teams to competitive levels, raising their floor, if you will, but there are endless combinations of talent that can make an NBA offense slightly below average, besides dumping it into an isolation score 40% of the time.
This show you, man, to win a championship, you really gotta have a team, a squad, you know? A collected group that's gonna work together. It's not a one-man show, man. It's not a one, you can't do it by yourself. That's why the team players, the people that was always team first, them be the greatest ones. Them be the greatest ones to do it. You feel me?
In 1965, Wilt was traded to the Philadelphia 76ers for their 5th and 8th man, and Philadelphia improved from around 500 play to about a 48-win pace. We don't know how much of this improvement was a much-needed defensive boost, but again, big scoring alone didn't create a good offense. Wilt's team offenses actually improved when he finally shot less. Way less, actually. Few players in NBA history have downshifted so severely as a scorer, going from a shooting machine to leading the NBA in assists. In his second full season with the 76ers, Wilt's scoring rate dropped almost down to Russell levels, and his team's offense exploded. There's an enormous negative correlation between Chamberlain's scoring rates and his team's offensive success. The less he shot, the better they did. Volume shooting hurt his team, but it does suggest that it was holding back his better teammates.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. The coach told him. He said, don't pass the ball. He did. He like, coach, I could pass. He said, nigga, don't pass. Nigga, they suck. Don't pass. And Wilt was like, all right, bet. And never passed. And then he got to a new team. They like, hey, bro, swing that motherfucker one more. One more of that motherfucker. You feel me? That's what they did, man. Look at him. Leading the league in assists just like that. I told you, bro. It's the coach.
Why did his coach completely change his style with better players around him? Russell, on the other hand, was never seen as an offensive force, but instead is the benefactor of great teammates. Cousy and Heinsohn at first, then Sam Jones and John Havlicek. But there's an enormous problem with that idea. If there's one thing that hasn't changed in the NBA over the years, it's that most all-star players are recognized for their offense. This includes those Celtics around Bill Russell.
That was nasty.
Often said that his bandmates made Boston a dynasty. But the Celtics weren't actually overflowing with all-star talent then. Here are the all-star appearances by team during Boston's perfect run from 1959 to 1966, excluding Russell and Wilt. Does any club jump out as being completely stacked with all-stars if Wilt or Russell were to join them? If anything, the Lakers, behind Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, two of the 5 best players of the period themselves, look like the most top-heavy team. If we add Russell to the Celtics, they end up with the most all-stars, but Wilt's teams weren't lagging far behind. So a bunch of franchises had 2 or 3 all-star players, typically based on offensive play, and since Russell's supporting cast was no different, it should come as no surprise that Boston's offense was around average, or even below average for most of the 1960s.
Right.
Instead, those Celtics teams won with defense.
Give me that.
During Russell's time in Boston, he spearheaded the greatest defensive dynasty the league has ever seen, strangling opponents night after night with a timeless combination of size, speed, mobility, and awareness. Boston ultimately incorporated solid defensive teammates to platoon around Big Bill. But
bro, defense was crazy. R.I.P. bro.
Fewest points per possession in the league in 11 of his 13 seasons.
Oh my.
And while most of the NBA was struggling
Give me that.
50 wins at the time due to parity, Russell's Celtics were an outlier, cranking out 60-win seasons. These circles represent every team's defensive efficiency relative to the league since 1955. The year before Russell arrived,
see,
Boston.
That's the thing right there. That this, if we want to go Bill Russell or Wilt Chamberlain, I'm saying, how y'all feeling on that? You want a winner or you want a bucket getter? You feel me? A lot of guys gonna say the bucket getter, but can I get my bucket getter to try to win? I don't know, but I know one thing. He trying to win every game, every time out. He trying to win. So I don't gotta worry about that. He not worried about getting his. You know what I mean? It might be a game. He ain't getting too many shots. He cool. He like, we won, coach. We good, coach. Don't worry about me. We good. The bucket getter? Oh, we won. I ain't getting no shots. Man, what the fuck is we doing? Give me the fucking ball. You know, that's how they gonna get. I want a winner, bro. Give me a winner. A winner. That's just me though.
Giving him an estimated 3 points more than league average. With Russell, they jumped to the top of the league and would steadily improve as 1950s names faded and were replaced by stronger and more athletic defenders in 1961. At their peak in 1964, Boston was nearly 10 points better per 100 than other teams on that end, arguably the greatest defensive season ever. As Russell aged and the NBA expanded, Boston remained competitive with its defense until he retired at 35 and then immediately fell back to the pack. All told, Russell captained 5 of the 25 best defensive seasons in
Bill Russell defense like
in
this?
a row, an unrivaled team accomplishment. Without a three-point line and primitive spacing that allowed big men to patrol the paint as a backstop, a versatile vertical defender like Russell became the game's most valuable weapon. Boston's ascension to record-setting defense coincided with Russell playing more minutes with a platoon of players around him. At their apex, no other Celtic played 33 minutes per night, and Boston's final resurgence in 1969 came with Russell re-upping his minutes alongside Boston's best offensive player at the time, John Havlicek. Many people talk about Wilt dominating Russell heads up because he scored more than Bill. In their 142 meetings on record, Chamberlain averaged over 28 points per game on 51% true shooting, compared to just 14 points per game on 42% true shooting for Russ. But Russell's primary value didn't come from his scoring. He won 5 MVPs because he made scoring harder for the opposition, and Chamberlain
he won 5
against everyone else.
He won 5 MVPs? Oh my God. Bro, Bill Russell might be the GOAT. Bro, he won 5? Bro, what the fuck?
Wilt averaged 34 points per game on 54%
Oh my goodness.
shooting. So Russell gave him a major haircut, denting his scoring and efficiency. You might think, sure, but Wilt's numbers are still great. But remember, his scoring didn't make his team's offense very potent in the first place. So Russell was blunting what was only a moderately sharp weapon to begin with, imparting that massive defensive impact that drove Boston to title after title every spring. And when Chamberlain was going hog wild trying to score in 1962, Russell gave him a larger haircut. In these 75 games, Wilt didn't face Bill. He averaged 51 points per night on 54% true shooting. Against Russell, he averaged 37 points per game on 50% true shooting. That would rank 11th this year in permanent scoring, similar to Paul George.
That's
in
defense.
volume and efficiency.
That's defense.
If there were stats like opponent field goal percentage in the paint, or how much did you hold players below their average, pundits might have viewed Russell's performances against Wilt as being dominant. But those stats didn't exist, so Russell's continued success forced people then to search for explanations.
I like that. I like that. I like that for the defenders. For the defenders. How many times did you hold your matchup to under his average? Ooh. I like that. Ooh, that's nasty. That's defense though. Like we love defense over here. You feel me? We love defense, and Bill Russell is first team. He's first team. You know what I mean?
Like to credit his intangibles as a leader, and others.
Yeah, Bill Russell might be the GOAT.
Looking to his teammates as the reason for.
I heard
success.
enough.
We don't have precise measuring tools for that period, but if we look at the 28 games Russell missed between 1958 and 1969, the Celtics played at a 35-win pace without him and a 59-win pace when he played. That's super duper impact.
That's different
to the changes we saw when Wilt shifted teams. But remember, these are crude measuring tools. Another more comprehensive approach is to also account for teammates who have gone in and out of the lineup over the years by looking at how his teammates impacted teams when they were in and out of the lineup, and so on and so forth. We did something just like this in part 5 of the Thinking Basketball Stats series. And when we solve this giant equation to estimate a player's overall value, looking at just the final score and who played in the game, Russell comes out ahead of Wilt. This is a noisy calculation. It's possible that in reality, these players could be worth a few points more or
I don't know.
less per game than these studies conclude. But consider how amazing this is. The only thing this metric uses is who played and what the score was. And yet, its top 25 players claimed 3/4 of the available MVPs and averaged 13 All-Star appearances per player. And again, it says that when we ignore the box score and focus on the relationship between the scoreboard and the player, that Bill Russell is actually better than Wilt Chamberlain. That's incredible to me, even if it's not a definitive proof, and all of this has significant ramifications for the idea of number one.
Is that a hot take? Bill Russell over Wilt? From what I'm hearing, I need to see. I gotta see if they got a Wilt video. From what I'm hearing, Bill Russell might be the greatest ever.
On options, we typically think about them as
Don't
the
quote
best
me.
offensive player on a team. But
This
a great
nigga defense
defender
is
like
ridiculous.
Russell can be the best player on his team by far without being the best or even second best offensive player. This was often the norm before the ABA-NBA merger in 1977.
Give me that.
And while it's rare today because rule changes have helped elite offensive players while chipping away at elite defensive impact, Tim Duncan's Spurs, Kevin Garnett's Celtics, and arguably Ben Wallace's Pistons are examples of recent teams where the best overall player wasn't head and shoulders the best offensive player. If we return to those impact studies that looked at who played and what the score was, we see something fascinating. Among the top 20 players, a handful are primarily playmakers, a handful are primarily scorers, who are also plentiful playmakers, and another handful are defensive titans. What's so telling to me is that this metric isn't influenced by any of our ideas of scoring, first and second options, or even defense, and yet it's littered with at least 4 completely different types of players. If we use modern play-by-play data to generate a more stable look at this kind of scoreboard impact, again, we'd see the exact same results hold. It's a player's overall impact that matters in basketball, and that comes in so many different combinations. In many ways, Wilt and Russell are the original example of this philosophical loggerheads, with Chamberlain bringing offensive and defensive impact, and Russell trying to outpace him.
What was Wilt defense like?
Defensive value. Isolation scoring, like Chamberlain's, can be impressive to watch and helpful for teams starved of scoring threats, but it can also prevent other offensive talents from flourishing in the absence of playmaking. That means I'll be working off the following criteria for this series.
All right, let me see.
This series is about basketball impact on the court.
Okay.
We contextualize circumstances and philosophies, but factors like aesthetic appeal
are
outside the scope here.
No championships.
Second, I care about someone's overall impact, specifically how much they can help a team win championships. That means skills that scale up to better teams tend to matter more than skill.
Did he not just, did he? He just said it does not factor championships, and then he just said help your team win. Okay.
That can't mesh with other top flight players. Third, we're starting in 1977 when the leagues merged. While the game continues to evolve, the size of the league and its competitiveness are similar since the merger, making for fair comparisons, which will be made relative to the league in a given year. There are no time machines here. Instead, we're trying to understand how much a player impacted the game, given the
how good they was in their own time. I like that.
And finally,
I like that.
Those peaks must contain multiple consecutive seasons. The key reason for this approach is to avoid fluky.
Okay. Now we got the list. Let me show y'all. Let me get over here so y'all can see. Now, with this right here, who had the greatest peak to y'all with this? You know what I mean? With this criteria. I'm gonna have to do some digging. I'll let y'all know in the next video. The next video, it might be tomorrow, it might not be. I don't know. It's up to y'all. You feel me? Just know I already made it. So if you want it, you know, y'all know what to do. But with that being said, my dogs, I'm finna get up out of here. We on the road to 20K. We drop every day. We ain't miss no days. We ain't missed no days since I don't know when. You feel me? You know what I mean? Y'all have y'all a good day. I'm out.